What's going on, everybody? My name is James and it's episode 27 of the Arsenal career mode. We have West Ham and Manchester United today, and the great thing is both of these games are good games and one of them is very eventful, so make sure you stay tuned for that. Both games are going to be great. Episode 27, we're really going quite deep into this career mode now, and it feels like I've only been playing 5 minutes. It really doesn't feel like I've been playing for very long. But taking a look at the table, we have 4 games left, but some other teams have a little more, and it's quite clear that the league has already been won by now by us. So there's that. But just because we've won the league, we've still got many more things to accomplish. We've got cups to win and things to do, and a whole another season to play of this career mode. This is only the first season, and that's coming to a close. We get things started against West Ham real quick with 2 early shots there, and that's what I've been doing quite recently, is really attacking. I feel like this team is just so good, and I mean, look at that for a goal. But this team is just so good now that we can attack and attack and attack without really being too conservative. Celebration, the spinning heel kick from Mahrez, for any of you that are into the UFC. It was actually a spinning back kick, but it's like a chipped finesse almost. He just gets his foot under it, curls it into that side netting of the far corner, and there's just no way the keeper's going to save that when you're scoring goals like that. So Adrian actually had a good game here, but you're going to see kind of what happens. And I did mention in the last career mode episode that a lot of times when goalkeepers don't do their best, it's usually because of the defence and the shot that was really good, rather than them not being able to defend. 2-0 in the 28th minute. I really love this goal. Just passing nicely, chips it over diagonally and does the run in, and straight into the opposite corner. I almost want to say opposite corner's kind of OP this year. I don't know if you guys agree with me. Let me know in the comments down below if you think there's an OP. I mean, in previous Fifas it's been front post, it's been chips, it's been sort of different things, and I do feel like opposite corner shots are OP this year. So West Ham, I think, is actually quite a good career mode team to be. They definitely could do with some work. We snap up the rebound there for 3-0, and when we get 3-0, I've said it before, the game's pretty much over. But this is on Legendary as well, guys, for you that are new. This is on Legendary, and so I can't really go on a higher difficulty than this. So I'm not playing against a difficulty that's bad and then just battering them. It is really me just playing the best I can against the hardest difficulty there is. But West Ham would be quite a cool career mode, and I like to do career modes. We know the next one is Chelsea. I've said that before, but it would be quite cool to do. I like to do a career mode with a team that needs improvement. For example, Arsenal. For example, Chelsea. They didn't have the greatest season. They came 5th. They didn't have a bad season, but with the players that they've got, they didn't have the best season they could have had. So they could do with some work. You look at Man City. They don't need work. Why would I want to be Manchester City? Manchester United, they do need work. They've got a manager that's mean to his players, and this is just my opinion, guys. He's mean. Jose Mourinho is mean to his players, and even though he's being real, he is being honest. When players don't perform, he says after the match, he says, "Yeah, you're crap. You're not very good. You played rubbish. You didn't try." But that doesn't get you anywhere. Being mean to people doesn't get you anywhere. You're better off, outlining the positives that they did and tell them the things that they need to work on in the future, not telling them how bad they are. I mean, Jurgen Klopp is a good example of this, and why Liverpool was so successful, and that's because when a player doesn't do something, he gives him constructive criticism. He says what he did well. He doesn't have a go at him. He doesn't think every player should play well all the time. But we got a penalty there, 4-0. It's pretty much over anyway. There's whatever. So we're going to take this penalty with a Aubameyang. We're going for the chip down the middle, and that's the keeper that saved it. And you guys that's watched almost every episode, the amount of penalties we've had saved, and it all comes from me trying to score really cool goals from penalties instead of just blasting them in and making it interesting. Aubameyang there making it 5, and that's what I said earlier about the experience and how good this team is. He just turned. You can see the pass, the great pass. Just turns, shoots, and the defender is absolutely nowhere. I just turned and shot, and left. I mean, look how much space there is there that I created with just one little turn. And that's what happens when you have really good players. So it's quite interesting to see down the line. Maybe in a few months after the Chelsea career mode, we might do a career mode with a team that's not necessarily so great. That might be interesting to see how I do. But in that match, dominant match, but can't let it get to my head because the next is United, and that's not going to be any easy challenge. I have touched on before me upgrading the players on the youth team, which I will not be doing in the Chelsea career mode that we have coming up in the next month or so, probably 2 months actually. I will not be doing that again. I feel like it was kind of a bit of a waste with a good team. If I was playing with a team that's not so great, then I would possibly change that up and do that, but at least for now I'm not going to do that. So we've really not got that much money for the transfer window or anything, but that's all cool. And now playing against United away, so I don't really know how FIFA works in terms of if you're playing away. Does that mean that the home team, at least for the computer, actually has like an advantage that they play better than they would if they're away? Or I really don't know how that works, but we've got to just rework a few things with the squad just to change it up a little bit. And don't get worried, guys, if you see me playing players like Nelson, because I've said loads of times before how great he really is, and he's only a low rating, and yes, he's not as good as some of the other players that we have, but on the pitch he can perform. But it's not really ideal, to be honest. This team that we're playing right now, it's not ideal for me to have to change everything around in the way that I have. But that's kind of like part of the process when you get involved in big teams and big cups and other things and commitments with mainly just other cup games and having a high volume of games. That's kind of what you have to do. The highly anticipated match is here now then, guys, with United. So you're going to want to make sure you watch this all the way to the end to see what goes down and see what happens. But me trying to get things started straight away, and they defended, just nice defending there. But there was a bit shaky in midfield is what I realised, and I got a good chance early on to intercept a lot of passes, and that was kind of where I played well for the most part. Sliding that under the hair, that was very, very cheeky from the former man at United. Well, but that's why I didn't celebrate. I sometimes get that mixed up and do it by accident, but I got it right that time. I try my best to just keep things realistic and not celebrate, and just little things like that make the game more fun to me when I'm playing against a team where the player's formerly from that club and I don't celebrate or something like that. I just think it's quite funny. Having that said, I remember earlier in the season scoring with Mkhitaryan and taking a run, let's say. So there's that as well. But going 1-0 up against United early is good. But they stayed really calm with it. They did stay really calm. They did just kind of pass it around and was kind of like, okay, if you don't want to, if you think you're going to get ahead and bad that, then that's it. We're going to carry on passing. We're going to carry on doing what we're doing, and you're going to pay for it. That was kind of the approach they took. And again, as you can probably see by the gameplay, where I took advantage of the most was midfield. They did well in defence, they did well up front when they did get the chances, but they just didn't in midfield. They just kept passing it to me, and I was like, okay, I'm just going to keep intercepting it. And then the counter attack comes. This is where the twist in the game comes. Pogba, 16th minute, the comeback, and that was a frustrating goal to concede. I think that was their first shot of the game, I believe. 16 minutes in, and he passed it. There was a really nice pass, poor defending from me, but the goalkeeper should be doing so much better there. It was not a great shot that Pogba pulled there. It should have been a lot better. It wasn't, and our keeper should have made a great save and didn't. In fact, he should have made an average save and didn't. We slide in there, making things difficult for ourselves, then making it even more difficult for themselves by not scoring. That was a really easy chance to score. Could have gone 2-1 up, should have. And they're coming forward again. Very, very intelligent slide tackle from us. And one thing I don't really like sometimes about FIFA is when I feel like more and more over the years they're helping players that aren't very good, and that's okay if you're not a great player, if you're a beginner. I get why they've done it, I just don't like it, and it helps the players that aren't very good to compete with the players that are good. And I'm not by any means, saying that I'm a great player or anything, but for example, I've had many occasions where I'm about to score and the player, you can tell, has not manually clicked X. I put on Xbox to slide in, but the computer does it for him, and I can't stand that. I really, really dislike that when the computer does it for you. I think if you want to make a slide tackle, if you want to clear something off the line, then you should be intelligent enough and a good enough player to slide in and make that for yourself. Talking of sliding in, we slid the ball in there, and that was a very unusual goal. We're going to have to watch that one back and see kind of what happened. I thought I didn't really have much on there, so I thought, you know what, I'm going to take the shot on, and I did, and I really don't know what happened. I don't think it took a deflection from what I can see with my eyes. It was just a shot that the keeper made a mistake on. I don't know how it went in, but they come right back at us again with 2-2, and Pogba was really their main man in terms of striking for this match. Their striker, I don't even know who was playing up front. I'm guessing it was Lukaku, but he really didn't do much. That was a really, really nice finish from Pogba. I have to give credit for that one. First time, weak foot finesse across the keeper, and it doesn't really matter who you've got in net for that situation. Nobody's saving that. Guys, I've got something for you as well in the comments down below. If you're still watching this video right now, put in the comments "I'm still watching" or something along the lines of "I'm still watching," because I really appreciate you. You guys, I appreciate everybody, I really do, but you guys who are sticking around to this sort of time in the video late on, you are the guys that I really, really appreciate. I can't thank you enough for that, because the way I see it is I'm taking your time up, and I'm trying to take your time up by giving you some kind of value in return and fun in return. That's the way I see it. So I appreciate you if you stuck around this long. That goal there, United go 3-2 up, and that's kind of where the twist comes in, and this game isn't over yet. There's still much more to come, as you will see in a minute. But 3-2, it just didn't feel like in life in general, I'm a very fair person. I'm a very honest and fair person, and I tend to go off of what people deserve rather than what people get. And so it translates over to FIFA, and it's a bad mindset to have. I will openly admit how great a guy is when I lose a game, to somebody who deserves to beat me, who is the better player. I'll openly, happily admit that the guy is better than me. But when it's the other way around and I don't win, I have to say it. I have to just be honest and say it, and that's just the way I am as a person. But we finally score a chip. We've been missing them in recent weeks, and I kind of put the whole game on the line for you guys there with that. But I think that's pretty much the end of that. Nice little game to finish everything off with. We'll be having a World Cup episode tomorrow, so like the video if you liked it, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.